Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, January 9, 2025. Explosive drama, secrets, and shocking revelations. Brady Black and Kristen DiMera's tumultuous relationship takes center stage once again. After months of uneasy truce and unresolved feelings, the two find themselves in another heated confrontation. This time, their argument revolves around Tate Black's recent behavioral issues and the influence of their fractured co-parenting on their son. Kristen accuses Brady of being too lenient with Tate, allowing the young boy to act out and shirk responsibilities. On the other hand, Brady blames Kristen's erratic presence in Tate's life for creating instability. As their argument escalates, long-buried resentments resurface, with both throwing barbs that cut deeply. Kristen accuses Brady of prioritizing his new romantic interests over his family, while Brady points out Kristen's history of manipulation and deceit. Their fiery exchange leaves viewers wondering if these two will ever find common ground or if their past will continue to haunt their future. Meanwhile, in a more tender moment, Sophia, the new teacher at Salem Elementary, extends an olive branch to Tate Black. After a misunderstanding in class led to tension between the two, Sophia seeks to make amends. She recognizes that her strict approach may have unintentionally alienated Tate, who's been struggling with the upheaval in his family life. Sophia's heartfelt apology strikes a chord with Tate, and the two share a moment of mutual understanding. This interaction not only highlights Sophia's compassionate side but also sets the stage for her growing connection with the residents of Salem. Could this gesture mark the beginning of a deeper storyline involving Sophia's integration into the community and potential romantic entanglements? In a surprising twist, Holly Jonas steps into the role of protector and caregiver when she discovers Doug Williams III injured in the park. Doug, a troubled young man with a penchant for finding himself in precarious situations, had previously confided in a friend about his mounting debts. Despite selling his late mother's treasured necklace, Doug's financial woes persisted, leaving him vulnerable to dangerous influences. Thursday's episode sees Doug lured to the park by a cryptic text, only to be ambushed and left battered. Holly's discovery of Doug in such a state sets off a chain of events that could alter their lives. As she tends to his wounds, Holly demands answers, pushing Doug to reveal the truth about his debts and the identity of his attackers. This development not only deepens Holly's character but also hints at a larger, more sinister plot unfolding in Salem. The rivalry between Philip Kiriakis and Xander Cook Kiriakis intensifies as tensions within the Kiriakis family reach a boiling point. Thursday's episode features a heated exchange between the two cousins, with their long-standing animosity fueled by conflicting ambitions and unresolved grudges. Philip accuses Xander of sabotaging his business ventures, while Xander counters by questioning Philip's loyalty to the family. Their confrontation quickly turns personal, with both men dredging up past betrayals and failures. The explosive argument leaves Victor Kiriakis caught in the middle, forced to mediate between his warring relatives. As their feud escalates, viewers are left wondering whether this rivalry will lead to the downfall of the Kiriakis empire or if a truce can be brokered before it's too late. The upcoming episode of Days of Our Lives on Thursday, January 9, 2025 say that Brady Black and Kristen DiMera have always had a complicated relationship, but their latest confrontation takes their tensions to new heights. Two separate situations converge, creating a storm of blame and recrimination between the former lovers. Kristen finds herself cornered after Ava Vitali confronts her about the harassing text messages she's been receiving. Kristen initially brushed off Ava's accusations, but the truth has finally come to light. The culprit behind the texts is none other than Rachel Black, Brady and Kristen's young daughter. Rachel's troubling behavior becomes a focal point of the argument, with Brady squarely placing the blame on Kristen's parenting. However, Kristen isn't one to take accusations lying down. As Brady chastises her for Rachel's actions, Kristen strikes back with a bombshell of her own. She reveals that she's aware of a secret Brady has been keeping. His son, Tate, is about to become a father. Sophia's teenage pregnancy is a scandal that Kristen gleefully throws in Brady's face, arguing that he has no right to criticize her parenting when his own son is struggling with such a significant issue. Kristen's words cut deep, and the argument takes a darker turn as she accuses Brady of hypocrisy. While Brady's focus has been on Rachel, Kristen contends that he's turned a blind eye to Tate's struggles. Brady, in turn, questions whether Kristen's influence has contributed to Rachel's behavior, setting the stage for a bitter war of words that could have lasting repercussions. Meanwhile, Sophia Choi finds herself grappling with the fallout of her choices. Sophia has confided in Holly Jonas about the immense pressure she's under. Holly listens sympathetically as Sophia explains how her mother, Amy Choi, has imposed her own beliefs and expectations on her. As a staunch pro-life advocate, Amy made it clear that an abortion was out of the question. However, Sophia's decision to terminate her pregnancy was driven by fear of her parents' reaction and concern over Tate's ability to handle the responsibilities of fatherhood. Sophia's regret and guilt weigh heavily on her. When she apologizes to Tate, her motives are complex. On one hand, she wants to make amends for any pain her decision may have caused him. On the other, she hopes to preemptively address Amy's demands, knowing that her mother's disapproval could lead to further complications. Sophia's apology is heartfelt but leaves Tate with lingering questions. What does Sophia truly want, and how can they move forward from here? Sophia's vulnerability also leads to a poignant moment with Holly. By confiding in her friend, Sophia takes a step toward reclaiming her voice in a situation where she's felt powerless. Holly encourages Sophia to be honest with herself and with Tate, emphasizing that her feelings matter, even if the circumstances seem beyond her control. Elsewhere in Salem, tensions between Philip Kiriakis and Xander Cook reach a boiling point. Bell Black's recent warning about the judge's decision hangs heavily over the Kiriakis family. With the stakes higher than ever, Philip and Xander's rivalry escalates into a full-blown confrontation. As they trade barbs and accusations, it becomes clear that their animosity runs deeper than business disputes. The fallout from their clash could have far-reaching consequences for the Kiriakis' legacy. As these storylines unfold, the central theme of the day seems to be the consequences of secrets and lies. Whether it's Rachel's misbehavior, Sophia's hidden struggles, or the Kiriakis family's power plays, the truth has a way of coming to light in Salem, often with explosive results. For Brady and Kristen, their argument may force them to confront uncomfortable truths about their roles as parents. For Sophia, her journey towards self-acceptance could mark the beginning of a new chapter. And for Philip and Xander, their feud may push the Kiriakis family to the brink. Thursday's episode promises to leave viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating what's next for their favorite characters. Will Brady and Kristen find a way to co-parent Rachel amid their differences, or will their animosity drive an even deeper wedge between them? Can Sophia and Tate navigate the challenges of their situation with grace, or will their relationship buckle under the strain? And what will the judge's decision mean for Philip and Xander's battle for control? Days of Our Lives recap for Thursday, January 9, 2025. Wednesday, January 8, 2024, was another emotionally charged day in Salem as characters grappled with love, responsibility, and the consequences of their actions. From Doug's desperate attempts to pay off his debts to Brady and Amy's tense debate over Tate's future, the drama was unrelenting. And finally, Rachel's scheming came to light, leaving viewers at the edge of their seats. The day began with a tender yet complicated conversation between Brady Black and his son, Tate Donovan. Tate, still reeling from the news of Sophia's pregnancy, was visibly overwhelmed. When Brady asked if he had spoken to Holly about the situation, Tate admitted he hadn't. His reluctance stemmed from his fear and guilt, especially since Holly was unaware that Sophia had the baby. The thought of becoming a father left him paralyzed with panic. Brady, ever the supportive father, tried to calm Tate's nerves. He acknowledged the gravity of the situation, assuring Tate that while his life would undoubtedly change, he believed in his strength and resilience. Brady's encouragement was heartfelt, but Tate couldn't shake the overwhelming sense of dread. When Brady suggested that Tate reach out to Holly to let her know he still cared, Tate hesitated. He couldn't help but reflect on how things might have been different if Sophia's mother hadn't found out about the pregnancy. His frustration boiled over as he blamed Ava for what he saw as unnecessary interference. Brady, however, defended Ava, explaining that it was a misunderstanding and not her fault. Despite his father's reassurances, Tate remained bitter, lamenting the fact that he and Sophia had used protection, yet the unexpected still happened. Before Tate could act on his father's advice to see Holly, there was a knock at the door. Standing on the doorstep was Amy Choi, Sophia's mother, her expression a mix of determination and frustration. As Brady invited her in, the tension in the air was palpable. Amy wasted no time making her presence felt. When Tate tried to slip out, she insisted he stay, making it clear that this conversation was as much about him as it was about their families. Once everyone was seated, Amy brought up a topic that caught Brady off guard: wedding planning. Brady, visibly taken aback, listened as Amy outlined her expectations. She believed that Tate and Sophia should marry, seeing it as the only responsible course of action. However, both Tate and Brady disagreed. Tate firmly reiterated that marriage was not an option, given their young age and the complexities of their situation. Amy, unwavering in her stance, argued that what the young couple wanted was irrelevant compared to what was right. She dismissed abortion outright, asserting that her beliefs and her daughter's future demanded a different solution. Brady, maintaining his composure, gently explained that marriage was not the best path forward. His focus was on ensuring that the baby, if born, would have a stable and loving environment, regardless of Tate and Sophia's relationship status. The conversation quickly escalated into a clash of values. Amy's resolve to protect her daughter's future was evident, but so was her unwillingness to compromise her beliefs. Brady, on the other hand, was caught between respecting Amy's perspective and standing by his son. Amy's parting words were cutting. She reminded Brady that providing for the baby was the bare minimum Tate and his family could do. As she left, the room fell silent, leaving Tate and Brady to process the charged encounter. Tate, visibly relieved by his father's support, thanked Brady for standing by him. Their bond was evident as Brady reassured his son that he would always have his back. Empowered by his father's encouragement, Tate resolved to finally face Holly, determined to take the next step in this complicated journey. Meanwhile, in another corner of Salem, Rachel's misdeeds were finally brought to light. Her underhanded actions, which had long gone unnoticed, sent shockwaves through the community. While the details of her wrongdoing were not fully revealed in today's episode, the fallout promises to be explosive in the days to come.